I don't know whether Matthew Carley's a fan, but he's with us tonight. Greg McDonald, Peter Allen with the flags. TMO is Claire Hodnett. And it's so good to see this place full. Perfect way for the rugby folk of the Northwest and the champions to say goodbye to 2022. Sale in the blue, Leicester in the red. Leicester have kicked off, and that's a very smart start from Watson. Getting to the ball first of all, and that was all about the quality of the kick-off and then the quality of the chase.
You often see in these scenarios, guys, that if you get a right wheel, you can come around this side, but when you're defending, as you can see on the far side with just two defenders, if you can get a really flat pass, and you've only just started playing for Leicester Tigers, to Pollard, it's an automatic 3-on-2. It's exactly what you want. If you can go left from this scrum, then you've got a really good attacking opportunity, but there's probably going to be a penalty anyway, so.
When every single back comes in to celebrate a scrum penalty, they know how important this is. Alex Sanderson would have been talking about it all week. They've got the first big victory.
Wait, Reds, wait!
Ball kept in play.
Into a strong win, Leicester. You saw the ball hold up there.
Gus Waugh. And to Ben Curry, the captain tonight. A couple of Currys involved. Tom Curry returning, Ben Curry there as well. A couple of Dupreers as well. Rob Dupreer at 10 and Jean-Luc Dupreer at 8. And Manu Tuolangi in midfield for Sale. McIntyre waits. Dupreer. Curry was offering himself.
Sale players doing an awful lot of that. The ball out of the back to Rob Dupreer in the warm-up. Expect to see a fair bit of it if they can get Leicester biting in on the tackles. Really quick delivery from the base in terms of the speed of his pass. Sometimes a little bit slow, Sale in moving that ball initially, but his actual speed of pass, very, very good for Rob Dupreer.
It'll feel like a brand new team, won't it, when George Ford is available, then they've got Rafi Quirk as well. It'll then be interesting to see how interested Steve Borthwick is in either, of course, with the Six Nations not far away. Backwards off the outstretched hands of Reid, Aaron Reid.
Hold. Use it!
Johnny Hill looks interested. Instead it goes behind him to Dupreer, who puts the wiper in across the pitch. Caught by Van Poortvliet. This features such an important part of October's game at Welford Road. Win for Sale, first time in a long time that Leicester had been beaten at home in the Gallagher Premiership. More kicking, more athleticism. Yeah, Harry Potter decided that he wanted to keep it in play and then gets the bounce. Oh.
Biting in on the outside runner, he creates more space. I think this is what Ben was talking about. They don't execute it here, Sale, but look what it does to the defensive line. There's a really big pocket there for a winger or someone with a bit of pace to go through. And that's where you've got to be really careful as the third defender, that you don't close your outside shoulder.
How do you defend that, though, knowing that that might be a live option?
You've just got to stay alert, haven't you? You've got to be able to, the outside guy doesn't need to bite in that. He needs to stay and be there, but he can't commit to the big hit. The problem Leicester have is they like to make those big dominant tackles.
It was an interesting kick from Dupreer, nicely taken by Watson. A little bit of ambition to get it away that didn't quite pay off, and then a hoofing kick from a big hoofer. This one might be a bit more cultured. Let's see. Rob Dupreer. Jack Van Poortvliet. Ben Young's on the bench tonight.
Oh, he's got that. That's a 50.
Yes. That'll do. Chesson, another who may well feature in those plans. Van Poortvliet took it on. Liebenberg. And there's James Whitcomb. Dad Martin played for both clubs. And Leicester, the first club tonight to be able to play with the ball in the opposition 22, but that's been stripped away. Andre Pollard was asking the question, and the officials agree.
I think they thought they'd have a lot more room on that play.
6 metres out. Wells, the target. Charlie Clare re-engaging. No Montoya today, 3 Premiership tries so far. Clare's got 1. so far, hunting a second.
And he's tackled a player out the
There's another penalty coming.
Curry just pulling Liebenberg, coming into towards the posts.
Starter for Sale as well. No brotherly love this evening. Jasper Wiese sitting this one out for Leicester. Ordinarily he'd have been part of this drive. As it is, it's Clare who detaches and looks for some softish shoulders. Attack Rob de Preer. Still Leicester ball to play with an Ollie Cracknell, the number 8 tonight. Pollard gives it some width. Bouncing ball needs to be swept up by Watson. He did really well to turn that back on the red side. Clare. Anyway, through for Dan Kelly, chopped down by Tom Curry. And another Leicester penalty. 3 in quick succession.
So a really nice outside pass on the outside, but with advancing defences, it's very difficult.
Yes, we've seen Pollard work so well with the likes of Damien Dialendi and co in a Springbok shirt. And Sale have it.
You having more attacks earlier on in the game.
Oh, Leicester have the free kick. Sale up early, and Leicester take it quickly. Cracknell on the charge. I think there's a penalty coming as well now, and to your point, Benny, here we are to go for another line out.
Can't believe you had to write it down and do your workings out.
Chesham gathers it, Clare goes in again, and once more Sale's hard-working defence goes to work. Clare pushing for all his worth, but Johnny Hill and co have done a brilliant job of getting themselves in the middle of all that. Johnny Hill all over the ball. Once again, 30 seconds we now have to set this scrum. It's been formalised. Laws that we were told were coming in on January the 1st, coming in a couple of days earlier, or at least across this New Year weekend. And this is the first match that we are really trying to speed things up. Leicester concede the penalty, so Sale can clear at their leisure. I'm not sure that that will count as an advantage.
He's going for the crossfield kick, wasn't he? Knew he had the advantage. Turn that right shoulder in.
Well, I know that that Alex Sanderson,
Family, it's full, the stadium.
friends and family. Curry to Tuolangi. Shackled by the new man, Janssen.
No lift on the ball.
Rob de Preer
That's right, it's my fault.
keeps it alive. Up she goes, and O'Flaherty chasing hard, and he did enough to put Stewart off.
Yes.
And then Stewart comes forwards.
Knock on advantage, red.
Greg McDonald, the assistant referee on the far side. Peter Allen on our near side down below us.
Use it. Advantage over.
And one of the things that George Ford was talking about when he addressed the Sale team at the start of the week was how important the kicking game would be tonight. It was at Welford Road, it is here. Got his eye on Tuolangi here as well, very much in line to be the man who's charged with stopping him. There he is. Oh, he in the end got half enough on him, but it's a penalty. De Preer whips it away, and here's the fullback, Luke James, and Sale for the first time with some proper ball in hand. But
Yeah.
Be interesting to see this. They set Manu up quite well. They spin out of the line out, give him ball early.
Just attempt to go side entry and just keep an eye.
Just a little touch in the air from the line out, but
Yeah, make sure we're not putting anyone.
I'm not sure.
and
Rob de Preer having a little giggle to himself. I don't think he meant the scuttler. They all count though.
Hold. Just take it in.
Loose
this evening. Here's another defensive line out to work with. Taken by Liebenberg, but not for long. Leicester quickly into midfield, and Kelly, only his third Premiership run out this season.
More additions to his squad than Eddie Jones might have done.
Aka van der Merwe and Johnny Hill. He's started impressively, Hill.
Happy with Cole there, Greg?
Yeah, just.
Sale front men got disconnected from the back, and Leicester think they're in. Dan Cole's in. Someone's round his neck.
Bind! Set!
To the second quarter of the game. Gus Ward taking a backward step before he heard the referee's whistle. Dan Cole earning half a metre.
Leicester not playing in that middle third. Couple of little phases, not going anywhere. Momentum taken out. They go immediately to the box. That one's not quite long enough.
Agree.
Pollard. Cute. The chase, and well read by Sam James at full stretch. Games issues as we sing Auld Lang Syne. Chris Robshaw will be our guest in the studio.
Pollard pointing him out.
Van der Merwe finds Wiese. Van der Merwe again, and whoa, he took the hit from Rafael. And Liebenberg causing a little bit of confusion, but it's still blue ball, Sale ball, McIntyre. Running into Harry Wells. Oh, that was the new man, Sean Janssen, with the block.
Line out stops Manu Tuolangi getting it. Just watch the fumble as this comes out the back to Aka van der Merwe. Doesn't quite come, a little bit slow. As a result, Tuolangi was on the line. He had to just put the brakes on to not over.
A couple of Rob Dupree penalties has Sales, as you'd expect, been busy with George Ford injured, but he's really stepped up and looked every inch the world-class player that he is. Liebenberg.
How good's Watson been on those kickoffs? Wins that one fairly cleanly.
Oh, Leicester and Rafael have lost that one. And Jean-Luc Dupree brings it away. Leicester being done in the tight at the moment, Ben.
Yeah, a little bit, aren't they? You'd expect that with who's on the field. There's a lot of good jackalers, not just the Curry brothers. But Leicester might just have to run some tighter support lines and just make sure they keep their depth so players can change if the offload doesn't come.
No 5! Hold in front,
Pollard.
Red. Thank you.
Angles it away to the right-hand side. Porter was underneath it, so was O'Flaherty. Curry to McIntyre.
Yes, thank you. Good choice.
Tom Curry goes back over the top. Sam James.
First player.
Gathered in initially by Reed.
Back in. Take it in.
Freddie Stewart. Taken back in, so he knew that he couldn't kick it directly into touch. And War and Dupree, and there's opportunity away to the right. Instead, they come back infield. It was read by Freddie Stewart, who castled Sale's scrum half. Manu Tuolangi, who has escaped the clutches of Guy Porter, and now opportunities. Tom O'Flaherty, Tuolangi, ball beats him.
I think that's a penalty to Sale.
Just really unfortunate for Sale. Tuolangi does really well to bounce out of that tackle, get the offload away as he dragged the outside defender in.
It's a great tackle, wasn't it, by Potter, I think.
In the touchline, toes behind rather than ankles just on. Only a small thing, but it keeps me awake at night.
You backed out.
Actually, that wasn't so bad from Aka van der Merwe. That was kind of 73 miles an hour on the motorway rather than 80, but you know what I mean.
Out to.
Van Portley taking his time to stud this one back. And get some reasonable distance to O'Flaherty. Luke James, the fullback, again tonight. Jason Woodward, Joe Carpenter, both still injured. War.
That's gone as well.
Running off one of these. Will they go wider like Austin pointed out?
Taken by Jean-Luc Dupré. Curry off the tail of it. Ben Curry, the captain. War, Dupré, Rob Dupré, James to his brother Luke. Gus War, Rob Dupré again. There's a bit of energy about this Sale attack. Curry to another Curry. Back on their feet. Pair of them combining effectively. And Sale with a penalty, and slap bang in front of the post, and real options, and Reed takes it in. Not coming back quickly enough.
It's a reasonable setup play. Good carry. They try and work in the corner here. You could see Sam James running from really deep. Picks up a decent angle. And then this is the interplay. Brother to brother. He's been tackled. He gets back to his feet. He gets it back. I don't know how he got there. I reckon there's 3 of them. Are they triplets? I think they're cheating. Really nice turkey curry yesterday, by the way.
Oh, good.
Just thought you'd need to know. It's obviously going down the touchline. Can't get to that one.
Instead it was Sam James reclaiming the shirt tonight from Ryan Mills, who started at Newcastle. Sam James beyond 150 Premiership games for the club now. Taken by Pollard. Oh.
Tackle! Let him go! Move out! No. Lovely, Johnny. Right on, boy.
Leicester forced into a couple of early changes.
Phil, isn't it? Hill pulls Van Portley in just as he was about to bend over to pick it up.
Wies was up making a nuisance, but Leicester ball, and this is one of the early replacements. Sean Jansen, the Kiwi.
Backwards, play on, backwards!
Ben Curry,
Ball is out.
very nearly.
That's a knock on.
Quality of the tackling, Tuolangi there
Some advantage.
on Potter.
It's on if they go wide here.
Dupré going wide to Reed and James. Just a bit more zip about Sale's work at the moment, particularly in defence, leading to moments like this. And Curry, Tom Curry, popped off the floor to Shonut. McIntyre escapes the clutches of Chesham.
No!
Ben Curry. James. Oh, a lovely ball. Went beyond the defence, got beyond Pollard, found Reed, and then a running James back to Reed. Reed, oh, in the tackle away to O'Flaherty. Sharp Sale.
Fires one across. Here's the turnover. Curry getting through to Van Portley, dislodging it from the arm, and then in comes Manu Tuolangi with a hit that also knocks the ball away. And then there's that ball from James. Reed does really well to hold up, a little bit slow the support there, but they don't panic. Reed gets back on it and offloads as he feels his ankle's getting chopped from behind him. Great talk, great communication. Look at the way he just holds up, buys time for James in the wide channel, gets it back, and then O'Flaherty lets him know he's there. He just lifts it up. It's a really, really good score.
16-point lead.
Taken by the fullback, Luke James. And Reed, who had a full part to play in the try. Freddie Stewart, Leicester with some rebalancing to do, some redigging.
They're getting smashed at the gain line, Nick. That's why they can't get any multi-phase. They can't get multi-phase. They don't go off slow balls. They go straight to the kick.
O'Flaherty again.
was out.
Oh, what an offload from McIntyre.
And now Visa, and now Akke van der Merwe. And Saylor in full voice here.
Pollard just disrupting on the floor, backed up by Liebenberg. Saylor going to get it back, though.
Curry, Dupree, James, again another one out of the very top draw. O'Flaherty, Tuolangi in support, Luke James in support, Gus Moore across. Leicester in full retreat here. McIntyre, however, temporarily held up. Visa, Cobus Visa, War, Jean-Luc Dupree.
Good choice.
Rob Dupree keeping the spaces, keeping the options open away to the right. It is to the left, however, and Manu Tuolangi. Visa, hold on to it long. Dupree. Van der Merwe, he tried to rush it, and but for the little slip, you might have had money on Chris Ashton.
Not clear.
He'd have been in a sprint with Luke James.
I'm not sure who would have caught him there, Nick, if he hadn't have stumbled. Would have been good to see if there was 80 metres left in those old legs. We know he's still got pace. Has he got pace over 80 metres? Leicester are on the ropes, aren't they?
Luke James. Janssen with the tackle. Ben Curry.
I think there's a lesson for Sale, though. They are on the ropes, Leicester, but not when Sale run headlong and make an easy big shot for the Leicester tacklers. That's bread and butter for Leicester.
Yeah. Sale have looked at their best when they've gone wide.
When they made that initial break, though, they went back to trying to batter their way over the line, going straight into double tackles, and they lost a bit of momentum.
Stewart.
No.
Do you think Alex Sanderson, if it stays like this, Nick, at half-time, will remind his team that last week we were 14-0 up at half-time and we lost?
6, stop now, 6!
A well-formed part of the chat. They've done so many other things so well, though, haven't particularly the physicality, just the effort at the breakdown in defence initially over the first 10-15 minutes to keep Leicester at bay, keep them pointless, and then what they've done since.
Well, if Leicester are going to get back into this game, they've either got to carry better and start winning some gain line collisions. There's another one that they've lost. Or they've got to start playing wide off slow ball.
James, Sam James, taken on by Chesson. War. Passage blocked by Wells. Curry. Dupree. Luke James.
Yeah, just Sale side.
Yeah.
Sale happy just to put an extra bit of width on those passes to see what's doing slightly further out. They've scored one try off it. Hill. Dupree, really nice, and Sam James again. Oh, off the floor, one-handed to Tuolangi. Sam James once more offering himself. Clip through, Reed chasing. It might be Reed. It might be Reed. Oh, and he's not gathered it.
I think he's got it, hasn't he?
Well,
it's a brilliant kick from Sam James. Look at this, just puts it on the left peg. Here's the big question now. Does he get a hand or a shoulder on it? Oh, the shape of the ball.
It's only got to be the torso, hasn't it? Any part of the torso.
That's a
Does he
try
knock it
for
on
me.
there
I think
with
that's
his
a try.
hands. It's whether it touches his hands or it just hits straight with his torso. I think a hand touches that.
I think that's a try.
knock on.
Do you? I think his hand touches it and then it rolls over his forearm.
If his hand touches it, it goes forward, doesn't it?
Yeah, he has to push it down.
No, but
as long
it
as
hits
he's touched it before as long as he's touched it over the goal line down, it's a try.
No, I think maybe if he has touched it, he's touched it before the goal line because it's the elbow
does
that
potentially ground it with his torso. Just knock on first. Where's the ball there? No, the ball. All I can see is the ball travelling forwards there, Claire. The ball, for me, doesn't go backwards at any point.
Just bear with me, Matthew.
I think the try is scored by his elbow, if the try is scored.
But I think he knocks it on first, doesn't he? Just the fingers touch it.
But there's any separation. I think that's a try.
Even if he grounds it with his elbow, has to be
just from the shape of the grass. I think you look at the ball, there's downward pressure on the ball all the way through, over the try line.
I think his elbow touched it, but I think he knocks it with his hands first.
Claire Hodnett, TMO.
Matthew, I think the ball goes forward first and he doesn't get any downward pressure.
Never has possession.
Never has possession.
And then never gains control. So even though he hits it down with his grounds it with potentially with his elbow or his torso, it's a knock on first.
Knock on first.
Welford Road back in May last season.
Bind! Set!
Hard to imagine there'll be too much ambition from this. Really bright Leicester start, and they made a change, an interesting one, because Freddie Burns is on. Anthony Watson, the right wing, has been replaced, so we'll see what that means to the shape of Leicester's backline. Andre Pollard may shift, Freddie Burns may shift. What do you reckon, Oz?
May just mean a lot more kicking unless Watson's injured. Wasn't the best start for him, knocking on the restart. Got away with it though.
Looks like Freddie Stewart has gone out onto the wing, and Freddie Burns might be at fullback. Pollard certainly seems to be the fly half still. Anyway. Harry Potter has gone to outside centre, so a major rebuild of Leicester's backline at half-time. And a minor one as well when Guy Porter went off in the first half. We are chasing to see if Anthony Watson is injured or whether that's just a tactical change. We'll have a word with Allard Walters at some point in the second half, so if we haven't heard by then, we'll ask him. James was grateful for the support of Gus Warr.
So not particularly hard at Sales breakdown. Opportunity there for Ollie Chesham. Deliberately didn't even attempt one. Also trying to keep bodies on the feet. Maybe they're slightly worried about how well Sale played when they could get numbers free on the wider channels. Maybe just trying to keep more bodies on their feet. Create a wider defensive line.
Hearing, by the way, that Anthony Watson is injured. That's the reason that he's with us, Freddie Burns. Pollard tries to give it some width, and Kelly ran into a very dark alleyway. And Sale have ripped it back nicely. Kick from the Curry, who didn't win the ball back, ricocheted off Leicester hands, and Leicester have possession.
Onside. Use it.
Big shot from Stewart. Really anywhere for James to go there. Did well to stay on the field.
Right, use it. Do not dummy.
No dummy, sir.
Not the box kick everyone was expecting. It would break down that blind side from Warr and O'Flaherty combining really nicely.
Tom Curry. It's getting news of the Joe Marler disciplinary hearing decision. We'll bring you that once we have a break in play.
Chance here for Reid to chip and chase. It's really opened up, hasn't it, compared to what we saw in the first half. Sale come out and realised, actually, when they put the ball through their hands, they're very dangerous. They're not trying to just counter Leicester's box-kicking game. Having said that, they're going to box kick now.
Use it. Behind the ball. Thank you.
Burns underneath it. Van Portfleet. Once again, Sale's first up tackling. Tenacity of their defending is quality at the moment. And in the end, Jack Van Portfleet just happy to kick long and find Luke James, who employs Gus Warr.
Can someone kick out? Because I want to find out what's happened to Marler. That's a good nudge.
Yeah. O'Flaherty. Scorer of the game's only try so far, and it was a cracker. Aaron Reid very nearly scored the second, but just a slight knock on as he took the ball over the try line just before half-time.
Use it!
Harry Wells challenge for the ball. Curry gets it. That's nicely done. And this is Johnny Hill. It's been a busy start to this second half. Ben Curry drives on. Saying that he might have done himself some harm midway through that first half, but he's come through unscathed and continues to motor around. Burns took that above his head and takes the hit as well from Hill.
He span just at the crucial moment before Tuolangi went through his kidneys.
Van Portfleet. Freddie Stewart now on the left wing, chasing hard. Luke James. Tackled by Pollard. Waugh flicks it away to Dupree. Dupree took it back in field. He was tackled and then dropped it and picked it up again.
Almost bounced it up to himself, didn't he?
Dupree, oh, intercepted, and Pollard, he needs to sprint hard, otherwise James is going to get across, but Pollard scores. First Premiership start for Leicester.
Line sticks a hand out, bats it up to himself.
Just making sure he's not dummying at the base. It was better.
Maybe just a bit of confusion for Rob Dupree by the two runners on similar lines, and tries to put it behind Johnny Hill, and Pollard just steps through, bats it up, but didn't look like he had the full 5 gears, did he?
Said it's a nervous tick.
Yeah, well,
Looked like he was in low range.
Free kick if he's not careful.
Oh, Pollard's first kick. Taken by Chess, and all of a sudden, a little bit of a different complexion to this match. We're still waiting to bring you the news of Joe Marler. We're aware of that, but we're concentrating on the rugby for the time being.
Thank you.
Clipped away by Jack Van Portfleet. Rob Dupree, this will go high.
Good kick, using the wind against him just to hold it up in the air.
Use it!
Harry Wells gets it away. We're going to have a word with Alan Walters in a minute. Head of physical performance for Leicester. It'll be fascinating to get his view on what we've seen so far. He'll be marginally happier than he was a few minutes ago with the Pollard try. We'll find out shortly. Rob Dupree once again. Continues to be a game where the kick's king.
Taken in! Taken in! Taken in!
Burns and Van Portfleet swapping passes. Ball has been in play an awful lot in this second half. Gus Waugh holds on to a pass that wasn't the most sympathetic.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity for Leicester. The kick's brilliant from Van Portfleet.
A little bit of fortune goes a long way, but I think with the endeavour of the first half, we were deserving of some points anyway, so very happy. We'll turn in our favour a bit now anyway, our ability to run.
You're certainly having to make some changes. We've just seen Andre Pollard come off and Ben Young's come on. You're putting formations out in the back line that I can't imagine you've trained very often with.
Oh, I don't know. You don't know the strategy of Richard Wigglesworth. It was always a plan.
Great talking, Alan. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Nick.
Curry, meantime. Ben Curry. And here's the other Curry, Tom Curry. They have been a couple of side plates next to each other over the course of this match so far. Waugh, again, the speed of that ball away to Dupree.
Freddie Burns is limping badly now. He stayed down. Leicester really struggling in the backs with injuries. He's actually had to sit down. He's out of play, Freddie Burns.
He needs to get back to his feet and defend.
War, James, and now Luke James, and skips through, and it's an important tackle from Harry Potter. Visa. Freddie Burns is in an awful lot of pain. He's limping and he's moving, but he's in no shape to make a defensive tackle here. It's a limping Freddie Burns against Manu Tuolangi. It was no competition. In the end, Van Portfleet stood up to him.
Brilliant from Kelly.
And now Curry. And Leicester again on red alert. Picked up by McIntyre. Scores. Sale reasserts some dominance.
A lot of pain. He couldn't get over. The cover's really good from Kelly to get across and make that scoop back tackle on his opposite number as Van Portfleet came in, but the tide was turning all the way towards Sale with the power carry from Curry. Doesn't quite get there. Chesham just stops him, but McIntyre picks, looks for his spot on the grass, finds it, and Matt Carley's right on the spot.
Fair play to Freddie Burns. He got back to his feet and he tried to get out there, but of all the players you want to see running at you when you've just come up from what looks like a bad ankle injury, Manu Tuolangi, brilliant tackle from Kelly to stop him in the first instance, but then the carry from Curry and then the finish from McIntyre. They're looking strong, Sale, aren't they?
And the face of a man who's just scored his career again tonight. Promise, as soon as the ball goes out of play and it's not off the back of a try, I'll bring you news of Joe Marler's ban. War, Jean-Luc Dupree.
Right, use it!
O'Gray, who we know can play as a hooker, can play in the back row, is playing in midfield by the looks of it. He's going to have to play as a back. Youngs and Burns and Ashton all brought off the bench before Burns' injury. Gus Wars hurt himself, took a bang to the ribs, but he's back with us now.
Physicality just fighting for every inch. Curry there on the floor with Potter.
They got no shape, Leicester, now, though. The shape's completely gone. What shape they did have before.
Use it.
You've got Van Portfleet, I think, playing at 10. They're going to have to find a strange way back into this game.
Luke James catches Harry Wells off balance, and then O'Flaherty, hopeful Wahe back in field. Here's Lea Tinunga, one of the recent arrivals off the Leicester bench. And then Leicester have a penalty. Right then, Joe Marler.
I don't know. Look, I think... let's see, it hasn't gone to touch, so let's come back to that.
Hold, Jono, stop. Thank you. You're milking it.
Just to confirm those Sale changes while we were giving you the Joe Marler news, and one of them is Joe Simpson.
Come on.
15 years as a Premiership player, coming to an end finally this evening. This is his 223rd final match before retirement. Ben Young's 33-year-old scrum half, Joe Simpson 34-year-old. Luke James going under Leicester's defensive radar for a moment or two.
Use it!
Simpson.
Wait.
All those years with Wasps, making his name. Taken by Freddie Stewart. Leicester having a complete backline rebuild either side of half-time. So much so that they've got a forward now, Gabe O'Gray, playing in that backline.
Yes!
Positive ground for Leicester, first time in the 22, really.
It's one of those instances that only gets flagged up because he said it to the wrong person who it meant a lot to at the moment with his personal circumstances. Otherwise, he probably would have got away with it. But we need to stamp this sort of thing out of the game, particularly with the mental health, have a bit more time to talk about it in the middle of the game, and that's why it detracts from, we're watching a cracking game here talking about something else.
Leicester with the penalty.
Ball's out.
Despite what Alan Walters said, have run in training in these specific positions, so
put it into someone's hands, Dan Kelly or Ogre, carry into the midfield and play wrap patterns. If you can play a wrap pattern and make ground, you're going to do okay. That's not a bad start.
Ben Youngs to Hayes. Leicester trying to put some shape on this, but I think we can all understand Sana Tuolangi instantly having a week off before this one, recovering from a bang to the face that required some pretty painful stitches in his mouth, but he has come through 60 minutes this evening and leaves with his side in a pretty decent position against his former mates.
A real challenge from...
You've got to realise that's not your job anymore, it's someone else's. But instinct takes over, Nick. It's such a weird sensation when you're on the field when it happens to you.
Yeah, Leicester with Ben Youngs at scrum half, Van Portfleet at fly half, Kelly at inside centre, Ogre.
Van Portfleet can hit it well. I was going to say, should give Leicester that field position for that line-out drive, but
Simon McIntyre can head off and celebrate his first ever Premiership try for Sale. He's replaced by Ross Harrison. Leicester, meantime, in adversity, trying to shove hard. Ben Youngs has possession. Kelly, and then Van Portfleet, and then clipped through by Stewart. Asking too much of Chris Ashton. Taken quickly, O'Flaherty will chase this. Stewart, a little look over his left shoulder. He's got Potter to the right, but Stewart's right boot was the option. Dupree. Been one or two of those. This is Ewan Ashman. Early try as a starter last weekend against Newcastle off a line-out drive. That flicked off the top of the line-out. Ben Curry drives it up the middle. Sam James. Oh, it's potential for another interception, but Leicester off. Visa hoisted high, is down very quickly. Tommy Raffel just off the ball, offering a different defensive perspective. Penalty on the way.
Penalty advantage, 18, changing binds.
Penalty against Joe Hayes. Simpson. Oh, Curtis holding on to it nicely, and James scoring a peach.
That is brilliant.
Behind his tackler. Little show and go, Kelly
Pass
goes.
Forward. Oh, that is such a shame. It's a forward pass. Look how it comes out of his hand.
Matthew,
that is a nightmare, because that would have been a brilliant try.
You need to overturn your on-field decision.
Yeah, definitely looks like the hand.
That's what he's been doing so well all season, that little pump of the ball. That's what his problem was last year. He played in about 4 different positions.
Yep. So then Sale driving from the line out. It's a penalty try.
It'll be a yellow.
20 side entry.
This is getting grisly for Leicester. It's a wonderful end to the year for Sale.
It's rare you get done for side entry for a penalty try. Jansen's the guy in the headband that you saw there. He does come in from the side on 2 occasions, but I don't think he's the guy that collapses it. I think it's probably Liebenberg that collapses it. There he is from the side there with Raffel. He's hard done by. It's not him bringing it down.
It's Raffel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sale have made a change. Johnny Hill has beavered around all evening. He's been replaced by Josh Beaumont. And now Luke James, Joe Simpson calling for it. Dupree, Sale suddenly going for a bonus point securing try.
Tackle!
Harrison brought down on halfway. Here is Beaumont. Dupree. Well, Hayes was up quickly, but there's some space opening up all of a sudden. And then Byron McGuigan off in search of that fourth try. So many numbers. One of them is Joe Simpson. That went forwards. That's butchered. Green on for his 100th game as a Tiger.
Second time through the mark. Second time. Okay, good.
Let's go! Let's go!
Helping to hoist Liebenberg skyward. Kelly. O'Gray. O'Gray in midfield. If you've recently joined us, all manner of disruption to that Leicester back line caused by injuries to a whole host of players. I'll run down the list when I have time.
Thank you, onside.
So much so that this man, Jack Van Portfleet, now having to operate as a fly half. And he does well to find a galloping Potter. A galloping Chesson was to his right. Potter came the other way and was hunted by Simpson.
Oh, it's a penalty to Sale.
Maybe helps when you're not having to do your usual role of scrummaging and mauling.
Qualified, fully fledged defence coach. In the absence of Kevin Sinfield, once of Wasps himself. He's talking about how strange it is to see so many players who were once at Wasps, so many coaches who were once at Wasps, earning livings elsewhere. O'Gray one of them, Matt Everard another. Simpson was at Wasps before the troubles.
First player on his feet.
Oh, Leicester have it. And O'Gray with that loose ball kicks it away. O'Flaherty chases back. He's got 3 Leicester players to have a look at, and they chased hard, and Green was leading that chase, and they'll have the line out. Green calling the line out, and it was to him, and Youngs behind Hayes to O'Gray. It's not been easy to get beyond the game line for Leicester today. Sale's defence, drilled by Mike Forshaw, has been resolute. Right now it's Harrison. Van Portfleet, Clare drops.
I think with how this game's panned out, they'd be a little bit disappointed, Alex Sanderson, if they don't get the bonus point here. They've been creating attacking opportunities. They've been good against a team that's not been at their best, but also been weakened.
Curtis. Dupree, hunted by O'Gray. Backwards off a Leicester hand. Right in spoonfuls. Really impressive, and Sam James has been as impressive as anybody.
His heel so far, but you can't play against them with a power game because they will match you.
Ben Curry off a line out won by Josh Beaumont. Cobus Visa continues to run hard and powerfully, and Sale continue to find spaces out wide. Luke James clipped through. Leicester ball, held on to it.
Oh, he's done it for not getting back to his feet.
Sale searching for a 4th and bonus point winning try. Visa again. Industrious tonight, Cobus Visa. And now Ewan Ashman. Not sure they're going to stop this, Leicester. Ashman scores.
At this end of the field at the beginning of the match with 4 attempts at the driving maul, and right at the end they come up with a penalty try on a driving maul, and then they done it over themselves with Ashman this time. As soon as they got set, they looked in a strong position, then they just had to go looking for where Leicester were weak.
Tries good, Matthew.
Penalty had already been given away, advantage being played before Ashman dotted it over. And the perfect end to a pretty perfect evening for Sale.
And then to start 2023, you've got George Ford coming back from injury, and Rafi Quirk. Talk about Christmas presents.
Every little break has revolved around him, whether that be a little kick through, the long flat passes. Sam James is our Gallagher Premiership Player of the Match.
I'm sure it's no coincidence, but every time we see Sale playing well, Sam James plays well. There'll be good reason why he hasn't won international caps, but his club really couldn't care. He's done a fine job for them down the years, and he's done another one tonight. Steward for Leicester.
Yeah, ball's out.
We have another northerly trek to Newcastle next Saturday. Final game in the Premiership before back into Europe. Claremont and Ospreys in the Champions Cup for Leicester. Toulouse and Ulster for Sale. O'Grey. Simpson.
Oh, well played.
Off his knees. Nice. Final minute or so of his Premiership career. Luke James sprints hard. There might be more here. Ben Curry. He's held on to by Dan Kelly. Harrison. Curtis. Now McGuigan. And now Curry. Tom Curry. Oof. If that had gone to hand, that might well have been the fairy tale end for Simpson.
Wasn't it just worth the 50-50 pass, wasn't it?
Ashton. Oh, they might get another go. Sale will get the scrum. Should nothing come of this, a lot might come of it. Ashman barging through. Simpson, go on your own, Joe. Oh no, he passes it, understandably. Sale have a fifth. Rob Dupree have a fifth.
Line, and I think everyone in the stadium was screaming when this is missed by Van Poortvliet. Ashman trucks it up, Leicester get narrow, and everyone is screaming, all the hands pointing to Joe Simpson where it needs throwing. And a nice easy run in for Rob Dupree to put the icing on the cake.
What was the last thing you did as a professional rugby player, Dad? Well, I threw a 30-metre pass off my left hand for a try in the last seconds of a game. You've been drinking again, Dad?
The entire Sale bench are on the pitch applauding him. I've never seen anything like this. Off it goes. Come on, Joe! Oh, it's not been a bad career, nonetheless, but it ends here for Joe Simpson, but so much to look forward to for Sale. A record Premiership win against Leicester, their biggest ever against Leicester. Some way for them to say goodbye to the year. Leicester will remember 2022 with fond memories, with brilliant memories of Twickenham back in the summer, but it's not the best way to finish it for them. Final score here in Cheshire is of a big win for the hosts. Sale 40, Leicester 5.